This is Dr. Howard Creecy, the National President of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the founding organization of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is Dr. Howard Creecy. Let's give him a hand. Dr. Howard Creecy is out of Atlanta, Georgia, where his national headquarters, and have one of God's finest church. Dr. Creecy, you want to make some comments, please, since we're still waiting for those applications?
Thank you so much, Dr. Rocker. Why don't you give Pastor Ronald Harbin a hand? Shekinah glory. Come on, now that you've been polite, let's really thank God for the man of God. Pastor Harbin has a big heart for this community, and he wants to see each and every one of you blessed with what you duly deserve. We've been here all day, and he has not been preferential toward his members, but he has opened his doors for every person in this community to be treated equally. That's a big man. Come on, that's a big man. That is a big man. Some of you have never been in this church before, and you ought not allow this to be your last time in a church that cares about you. Some churches care only about what you have and not about who you are. Pastor Harbin cares about you and about your needs. He has passed out to you applications for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference membership. And I watched as Dr. Harbin asked many of you, did you know who and what the Southern Christian Leadership Conference is and what it has done? And I was surprised that a number of you did not respond. I spent some time in Israel at a place called Masada. And when you go down to Masada, it is a outpost in the desert near the Dead Sea, where Jewish rebels stood and fought for their freedom and for the freedom of their people. Ultimately, they lost that battle. But across the hats of those who toured us around Masada was a phrase labeled "never again." Can you say that? Never? Come on, never again. Never again. Never again. Jewish people teach their children their history. And the reason they teach their children their history is so that their children can make a stance and say, never again. My brothers and sisters, as African Americans, we need to know our history so that we can tell the people who are in power in the United States and America, never again. Never again will you set money aside for us that we don't receive. Never again. Never again. Never again will you forget us and push us to the side as if we are nobody. We are somebody. And so we say to the powers that be and to the people in Washington and to the politicians around this nation, never again. I may be black, but I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody. I may be the last, the least, the damned, the doomed, but I am somebody. Tell your neighbor, I am somebody. I'm a child of God, and I deserve to be treated right. Now, the reason that you were given applications to the SCLC is this simple. Listen to me. Does anybody have any pets? Anybody got a dog? Anybody got a dog? Put that dog in your yard to keep out of your yard who you don't want in your yard. And you got to feed your dog to keep your dog strong. Because if you don't feed your dog can't protect you. For those of us in the community where we live, SCLC is our big dog. And if you don't feed the big dog, when it's time for the dog to bark, he won't have a bite. And we need to be able to speak to the powers that be in Washington and tell them they've got to treat us fair and right. And so we can only do that if you fill out the membership and let them know that SCLC represents the people who are hurting and the people who are in need. So fill out those memberships now and turn them in. And let me present to you the SCLC leader for this particular region in which we are. And I want you to hear the voice of Pastor Harbin, because he will be speaking truth to power on your behalf. Now let me see again. How many of you have already gotten paid? Let me see your hands. That's not a mistake. Some people intend never to pay you. But we intend for that never to happen. And the way we're going to make sure that doesn't happen is that SCLC is going to be on the case on your behalf. And our area president, Pastor Harbin, back in yet? Our area president, Pastor Harbin, is going to make sure that your concerns get to the right place. Let me present to you the past interim president and the past regional president for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and a major leader in the Louisiana community, and let Dr. Byron Clay give us some direction. Shake your neighbor's hand. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, never again. Tell that neighbor on the other side, neighbor, never again. Never again. Tell me, I am somebody. I am somebody.
Thank you, Dr. Creecy.